Alright, that's not going to work. Alright, I have bird comb, first of all, at the bottom that I have to correct. So, I installed my honeybees, my new package, at the end of April, and I checked for my queen a week later and saw that she was out, and I have not been into my hive since then. And I peeked into my hive on the 4th of July to do what I thought would be a quick check, and discovered I have quite a lot of cross combing. So in order to see the extent of the cross combing, I did some light work at that time, and I knew there was going to be enough damage that I'd have to come in another day. So that's some of what I'm doing today. So all of this stuff at the very end, this is all virgin comb. See how white that is? That's coming from honey. So I haven't fed any sugar syrup to this hive because they've had so many resources to begin with. I just let them go and forage nectar to build wax was my approach. So that's all of this is very virginal comb here. Oh, there's some. So the thing about the fresh virginal comb is it's very weak compared to wax that has been around for a few weeks or a few seasons. So they tend to bond it to the sides. You can kind of see that here. And for this hive, they tend to do it on the south facing wall for whatever reason. So I'm just pulling some of this out in order to try to work with it. So trying to lay down and not squish bees so that I can get into here. Let's see if we have a view of the bottom. Okay, you can see the bottom. So I have something I've never had before. I've never seen this before in my hives. This is called burr comb. Burr comb is like when they're building comb where you don't want it to be. So this might actually be literally broken off from the work that I did on the hive last week. So this looks like it's all empty. So this is all just pretty much wax. little bit more to the side, I think, so that it's a little out of my way, so I can work this right here. So as you guys know from many of my videos, I always wear gloves. So you just have to be really careful when you work with gloves, because, you know, it gives your fingers less sensitivity to what they're doing in here. And with bees, you want to be gentle, and you don't want to do something that's going to, you know, concern them as much as possible. This whole situation is going to be highly concerning to them, unfortunately, because I'm going to be doing a lot of destruction of all their efforts. All right, here we go. So it's coming up in reasonably one piece here. All right. So you can see this likely fell, and there's still brood in here that need to get out, unfortunately. So that might be brood that I lose. We're gonna have to see. It's kind of naturally breaking right there. I'm gonna set this kind of on the inside of my door for now, and that's just the way it's gonna be today, as we're gonna be kind of all over the place. Now, something to discourage further burr comb, I'm gonna go in and kind of do some light scrape work in here to remove like the vestiges of honey, or sorry, not honey, of wax. I'm just gonna toss them out here. They're very small amounts, so I'm gonna do a little bit of this cleanup. They tend to hate very much when I do scraping of any kind, so I assume I'm gonna be getting some guard bees at some point coming after me. The other day when I realized I had rather bad cross combing in here, I took some time to make some devices that I'm going to potentially be using today. It kind of depends upon if the work I did last week to help them start resetting the comb onto the direct bars, if that worked or not. I'm expecting it didn't work, which is why we're in here today. See, I've got a guard bee most likely kind of around my mouth where it can sense the CO2. All right, now we're gonna start looking. The other thing I did is I put in 2 follower boards. I have another hive, so it has another follower board. That's what this is. You can kind of see there's a little bit of a difference. This is a follower board right here. So this is like a good little end breaker, and it usually indicates to the bees like that's the end of the hive. Well, they haven't been managed this season, so they just worked right through the follower board. In this instance, what it represents to me is a hard plane that they can't cross comb through. And so I used both of my follower boards, kind of set them into the middle areas of the cross combing I attempted to quote unquote fix a few days ago in hopes that that would prevent them from just going and re-cross combing. So here we're going to kind of start to see what we're dealing with. So I'm going to cut these 2 up to this next follower board and see what we're looking at, and then I'm going to have to do something with all of these combs that I've just set to the side temporarily. I might have to put them back into this area over here. All right. And I think my goal today is to harvest several bars of honey. That'll free up some space in here that I can kind of get back into managing them, and it's the right time of the season for them. Okay, so I'm gonna shake them. Well, first I'm checking to see if the bar is well connected to the comb, so that if I shake it, it's not gonna just come off, and it looks like it's pretty well connected. I'm going to be pretty gentle as I do this. Oh, see, I created enough of a knock on here that I'm causing these to lean over here. I might just put some of these back into this area. This is just, it's a management nightmare here. So, but you know, cross comb is kind of the worst thing that could happen, like when you think about top bar beehives. So we're dealing right now with like the worst case scenario. And it's manageable. I'm going to show you. And I've never done this before, so. Oh, okay. Yep, we're all going back in. We're all going back in. We are. I think the net result of today's effort is I am going to have there's going to be a lot of bee deaths, unfortunately, just from squishing today. I don't think there's a way to get around that with my management. All right, so this is pretty small. I'll just keep it right here. All right, now let's go back to, okay, so you can see they're already attempting to do a little bit of cross combing work right here. You can see they're developing like a new little bar in the middle of this, or a new little honeycomb coming off this bar. So they're trying to put two on one bar, and what they're going to do if they succeed is they're going to move space around on all the other bars, which is what ultimately results in cross combing. So you can see when I open my hive, this portion was actually built on the hive, on the bar next to it. You can kind of see there's some space right here that it's not quite aligned, and it's way over on this side. So I think what I'm going to do is cut this and then reset it, and then I'm going to pull this burr comb off right now. So that's what I'm going to do at the moment. Oh, poor dead bee. Okay. I'm gonna pull this onto my stand. So let me see with this one. This one, they're, I think, attempting to push it kind of off kilter, but it's not too bad. So I think, I'm gonna cut some of this off right here. And this is actually quite a lot of drones, so I don't know, I may consider harvesting this one. Let's see. Alright, let's pull this one back up here. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. I think I have to tilt the camera. Okay. So I'm going. So this is a cross-combing fixer device that I kind of jerry-rigged, and I might use this on there. This is gonna really make my hive pretty nasty for the time being, unfortunately. But it's just the way it's gonna be. I think I'm gonna use this longer one. So I'm gonna cut the top of this with my hive tool. So I'm cutting it away from the top of the bar where it's kind of bulbing out a little bit more than I want. And then I'm going to put this little fixing device on here to kind of hopefully force them to stay where I want them to stay. Oh, shit. Well, that's kind of what can happen when you start cutting comb off the top of the bar. That was not smart. Let's see. So I'm deliberating. There's a lot of babies in this. I think they're drones. Alright, so maybe what I was trying to do is not a good idea unless I'm totally prepared to manage it. I think that's the lessons learned right now. And I think, so some of this fix, I have to worry about a combination of, there's brood in here I'd like to hatch out. There's a lot of honey as well. Removing this entire bar and not harvesting honey, that's like a lot of work that I'm sort of wasting of theirs. And then I have to consider whether or not my solution's going to even work. So here we are. This is my fixer. So this is unfortunately rather soft. So here's the device I was going to use. I think I got so startled I dropped it somewhere. Again, this is like the worst case scenario for working a hive. Got some bees that have attempted to sting me on my hand. You can see that the stinger has come out, so they are going to die, unfortunately. And my hands are now, like my gloved hands are just covered in honey. As this is laying on its side, it's actually leaking honey out. But I mean, the nice thing is it's going into the hive, so they can clean that up and eat it. So it's not totally going to waste. But there's just so much brood in here that I'm not going to get a lot of honey if I do harvest it. I know, you are trying to guard your family. I'm sorry. All right. This is one of my fix-em devices. Oh my. I don't think I got that onto this end very well. Yep. So it is on. It's not great. It looks like because of this being brood comb that there's some little bit of structural integrity in there. I think I'm gonna try to I don't know. This is not good, guys. This is quite bad. And it's hard when it's like a self-inflicted stupidity. Nothing is quite so humbling as like working bees, let me tell ya. I'm gonna take some of the burr comb that I laid to the side, and now I think I'm gonna lay this slightly to the side so at least it won't fall over and it'll be stationary. So I'm gonna put that in last. Now, you probably didn't see a whole lot of that. I'm sorry. We're gonna try to not do that again. That's what we're gonna try to do here. So learn from my mistakes. Oh. Okay, let's go to a next one. Oh, this one's not good at all. This one looks like it may have fallen off. Okay, I'm gonna do something they tend to not like all that much, but they like it better than me blowing on them. So, oof. This is interesting. This one is next to my other follower board, which is again a hard horizontal plane, but it looks like they built actually leaning in, like in a concave fashion, and it looks like they even attached it to the bottom, which I've never seen them do before. I kind of fear that what is about to happen is I'm going to kill a lot of my bees. in trying to straighten this out. I think that's probably what is about to happen in here, which is just really disappointing when you're a beekeeper. But at the moment, this whole hive is just like a huge sticky mess. Okay, let's see how bad this one is. I knew this was gonna be bad. I did know this was gonna be real bad. Oh, they've bonded it to the follower board, of course. So it's good that I didn't try to pull the follower board out. It looks like they have, essentially, they're trying to make a second comb. So 2 combs on one, which again is like classic precursor to cross combing. Oh yeah, it totally separated. So I have kind of a half of a bar, and now I have another honey comb that is just, oh, got lots of babies, and this one has a little more honey in it. I'm squishing a bunch of bees with my hands. They're probably stinging the crap out of me right now. Well, actually, there's a lot of drones. Okay, I'm gonna just wave them, which I don't like to do because then they're crawling all over the ground. All right. Oh, this is just bad. This is bad. I'm gonna pull this follower board out, and then I'm gonna lean this burr comb here. So again, I think worst case scenario that's looking more and more likely today is I'm just gonna have to destroy a lot of comb. So I'm taking a chance right now separating my next follower board because it's probably got some bonding, which it does. So I have the same situation on this side. Oh. Now, no, I've had a top bar beehive for a ton, like a very long amount of time, and I've never had this problem occur. Some of it, I think, is I just neglected managing them. I have a new baby. I have lots of things going on, and I probably should have listened to my husband when he said, maybe this isn't the year to like restart beekeeping, Kit. Maybe this is not the year. Probably should have listened to him. So yeah, pretty nasty cross combing is happening. Let's just see how far this rabbit hole goes. So at the moment, my bees aren't actually, like, they're not being defensive with me. I think because I haven't gone very far into the hive. I have not been looking for my queen. That's something I'll need to start doing as I go further. I mean, she's obviously laid eggs in this section, so it means that she could be here. And so every time I, manage some of this cross combing, there's a danger that my queen is going to get damaged. All right, I have another broken bar, totally broken off down here. Oh, shit. And this one is just about to break off. All right, oh my goodness, let's just see. So yeah, this looks like it's more honeycomb. I think, no, that's brood. So this is a mix of honeycomb and brood. It's a lot more brood. So we got more totally cut off bars. Oh my goodness. So more essentially to deal with. And then it looks like I have cross combing right here that's ripping off. Oh, it's gonna be bad in here, girls. This is gonna be bad. I might set you back for the whole season with what I'm about to do today. I don't know what else to do though. You're being naughty. And you can just kind of accept cross combing, and then you accept the fact that you're never going to be able to go in and work your hive, that if you ever do want to get honey, it's going to be hyper destructive, like right now. Like that could be what you consider in dealing with this situation. But I'd like to basically reset them. I want them back on all the bars that they should be. instead of all over the place. Yep, here's another one with tons of brood on it. Please God, let there not be a queen in this mix. I got a package, but it came with an unmarked queen, unfortunately. So that's some of why I'm just gonna let the bars kind of hang out here at the top of my... Anyway, I am in distress. This sucks. Yep, I have a full legit, another total cross comb here. What's hard is like even trying to get this bar out, I can't get to the one next to it in order to try to get it in the right position. So I'm gonna go through and I'm cutting it out here. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so these two bars are currently cross-combed. I can just see it based on the depth. I'm going to... Oh shit. If I could have worked them actually the day I discovered this, it would have been better, because I think they've done even more cross-combing since I got in here and discovered it. So that's like one lesson learned, is if you can put that time aside immediately to manage this, it'll go better. Oh shit. All right, I think I'm just gonna have to pull this one and it's gonna break right here. It's breaking. All right. Oh shoot, yep, there we go. Yeah, this one is fully double combed in here. So there's 2 on 1 fully. So I'm just gonna break this off. Yeah, this, what I'm doing is gonna set them back pretty much the whole season. I'm not gonna get honey out of this comb, or out of this hive. For sure, it's gonna be lucky if I can keep them alive. All right, oh, did I get to the end? I may have reached the end of the cross combing. All right, I'm gonna refill my smoker because they're starting to get a little more aggressive and defensive. Not aggressive, it's defensive. Like, that's really what they're being like right now. I'm gonna go wash off my gloves from all the honey as well. Even though I'm gonna get honey as I manage all this broken comb. All right. Okay. Oh, I'm very upset. All right, but it looks like that's probably the end of the cross combing. Oh my gosh. So just thinking through what has happened, and let me show you guys like the extent of the damage I'm looking at as best I can without getting... So you can see all those broken off, like laying to the side here. All of this. I think what I'm going to do, knowing that they're going to continue to try to build them the wrong way, knowing they're gonna just keep cross combing because they don't know what they're doing. Like, they don't know that they're doing something that's making it hard for me to manage them. They're just doing what nature is encouraging them to do. I think I'm gonna take all of this comb, even with the brood in it, and harvest it, and we'll maybe do a video about how I'm gonna handle that situation, because you don't want to like crush comb that has baby bees in it because they have juices. They're juicy. See if I can keep that ember alive. I think I need to just kind of chill them out a little bit. I'm using the billows to give that little ember a lot of oxygen so that it can get strong, which you can see it's starting to do. Hopefully stay alive. All right, and I'm not going crazy, but I'm putting some smoke in the air, and then I put it underneath the top bar because it's screened, so the smoke's gonna waft up through the screen. And all of the bees inside the hive, regardless of whether I've worked their comb or not, they'll get some of that smoke. And then I just let it waft up after I do a little bit of that treatment because I don't want to overdo it. All right. So my next step is I'm probably going to just remove all of this broken cross comb, and I might, in fact, do a little bit of a quick Google to see if there's any way that I can leave it so that the bees will hatch out, but I don't think that's going to be possible to do. So this is all going to be lost, and there's some honey in there, but it's more babies than honey, and it's a ton of wax that they've made. So I'm just going to accept that that's a loss, and this season they're going to be set back. Now what I'm doing is I think I've reached the end of the cross combing. So we're going to see if that's the case, and I'm going to do more of a regular hive inspection if there isn't any more cross combing, and just see what's going on in here. So this is coming loose in a familiar fashion, which is good because that means it's not cross combed. All right, so I take it up and I look at it and kind of look what's going on in here. These might be like newly hatched out. There's a lot of open cells. There's some babies in here too, or larvae I should say. I should be more specific in my terminology. All right, that's looking good. Praise be God. Blessed be the name of the Lord, as they say in the book of Job. All right, that one. All right, this one's coming loose in a satisfyingly familiar fashion. When you have cross combing, when you cut the sides and you go to start pulling it, there's like quite a lot of resistance. So that's your first sign that you're maybe dealing with some cross combing, is it's gonna bite you. I have a lot of capped brood on here. So I haven't taken any notes this season. For those who have watched my other videos, you know I usually am pretty neurotic about taking notes. So I may do that, like depending on how much time I have left. I have a baby daughter that's inside with my sister right now who is gonna get hungry at some point. So, all right, so far so good. Oh. I was kind of hoping the bees would like leave some of these bars that I've set to the side, which actually it looks like they have done to a degree. All right, here's another one. This has some larvae in it. And I'd love to see my queen. I would love to see her because that means I didn't accidentally kill her with all the cross comb. It's kind of like salt in the wound if that were the case. All right, I'm gonna pause right here, and I'm going to start removing some of this that I can get most of the bees off of into a container that I had set out on the porch for me. So you can see there's no live bees on here, but this is a lot of brood comb, and then of course just wax. So Yay. And then I think I need to go probably nurse a baby. It's hard being a mama beekeeper. I'm gonna sort of set this off to the side to see if the bees will walk off of it. If I can separate these a little bit. And then kind of the, oh, they're not wanting to leave this one because it's honey, which is kind of funny. I'm gonna leave these here. So I'm gonna go set these aside and I'm gonna go check on a baby. Alright, they're gonna give my baby a bottle, so we're gonna try that. And they told me there's like tons of bees on top of my hood, which I keep hearing, and it gives me like this horrific fear that like there's a bee inside of my hood, which again is, I'm afraid of bees. And I'm a beekeeper. I think it's healthy to be afraid of something, you know, in this day and age. There's very little that we have to be afraid of. Okay, so this one kind of fell out. This is a little larva. This would be from a capped brood. So it's actually wiggling a little bit. This is gonna die. So I might, in fact, even bring this over to my No, I'm gonna just throw it to the side. I don't have the time to feed it to my chickens. That's something I might consider, is I might feed these to my chickens. I'll see. Then at least something happens with them. All right. So I don't want to take all of these necessarily and like put them out of the hive, because some of these bees won't be at the flying stage yet, and I don't understand like the bee generational labor enough to know. Oh, there's a bunch of like drones on here too. Stupid drones. I don't understand enough like of how generationally deployed labor practices happen with bees, like, you know, when they are able to fly, if they're super young, if they're even capable, or if it's more that they just don't because they are distributed to like non-flying work. I need to do more research on that. Okay, this is pretty much clear of bees for the most part, aside from, oh, see, there's one that's trying to get out. Oh, I'm sorry, that's like probably a newly hatched one right there. And then there's one that's like literally trying to get out of the cell. Oh, there's another one. Oh, damn, there's a whole bunch. Shit. Shit, shit, shit. Shit. Sorry, this is not a family YouTube session apparently. I'm gonna just leave that and see if a couple can escape. Alright, this one, you know, this has so many drone cells. This is the one that I tried to kind of salvage with my Fix-It solution. I am not sure I'm gonna even try at this point because I'm a little bit afraid that they're gonna try to cross comb. So let's go ahead, knock these girls off as best I can. So much injury and death. Again, you don't want to get cross combing, but I am living the nightmare right now. I'm living the nightmare, and it's gonna be okay. I'll have a hive at the end of this that I can work. Okay, this one, there's a lot of damage. I'm frankly not certain that like any of those bees would have lived through this anyway. So I'm gonna go put this in my Tupperware. My Tupperware. Tupperware. And I'll be back. I'm like Thanos for the bees. And the snap is coming for you girls. All right, my baby girl needs me. She will not take a bottle because she's a diva. So I'm attempting to kind of shake off some of the bees that I have clinging to me. Shake it off. Shake it off. All right, don't land on me. Stop it. Stop it. All right. This is gonna be, they'll probably reach out and sting me right now. To be continued. All right, I'm back. And I have confirmed that I can feed like bee larvae to my chickens. So I think that's what I'm going to do here. Come on, Queenie, are you on here? All right, I don't see her. So now I'm gonna start trying to put this thing back together. So what I'm gonna do to do that, I'm gonna get my smoker. It's not working anymore, but I'm gonna try to like blow them off the top so that they can go out of the way, and then I can squish this back without hopefully killing too many. Oh, I killed a couple. I'm sorry, bees. But again, it's a little inevitable. what I wanted to check today was to make sure that the bees were able to rebuild their comb in line with my bars, because I had substantial cross combing near the 4th of July. So I had to fix that. I had to destroy a lot of comb, unfortunately, but they rebuilt the way that they ought to have, and it looks like they are doing really well. They have a good population in here. There's a good mix. I don't see evidence of disease. I am like totally sure that there's varroa mite in here, because there always is. That's why I'm going to just start my treatment plan. I'm not going to cage my queen today. I'm just going to do 3 weeks concurrently of treatment and just let her continue to do her natural laying cycle. I've had mixed results with caging the queen sets, and I just want to expedite things today. So thank you for watching, and hopefully stay tuned. I'll share anything that's shocking if it arises. Otherwise, presume that everything is well. I might harvest a couple of the bars at the end today, but I'm not going to do a lot of harvest. Cheers.